This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we are in Kentucky. I'm here with a real estate expert that since 2007 has provided homeowners, buyers, and sellers with the knowledge, support, and expert advice to maximize their home ownership goals. I'm joined here with the Realtor, Bennett. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to start off a little bit about yourself. Basically, you're formally educated at Centric College. In your pastime, you perfected your backswing and you enjoy multiple sports. But really, while studying, real estate really was already an interest for you. Share with me a little bit how this passion for real estate began for you back in college.
Sure. So as I was getting ready to graduate, just looking into potentials of what fields to get into, I had a grandfather who was a builder down in Knoxville, Tennessee, and my father was a real estate developer and wanted me to get interested in real estate, and specifically at the time, commercial and industrial properties. But I got licensed in 2007, and shortly thereafter, the market really changed. And so I ended up getting more into residential.
Here we are today. Pretty much it's been in your blood, would you say? Pretty much as a family. Let me ask you this. You have made your home in the beautiful state of Kentucky, there in Lexington. What is it about that area, would you say, that attracts home buyers to that area that you serve?
Well, I think it's the greenest place in North America. So I think just the natural beauty that we have, and then some of the more fun industries, horse racing, bourbon, college basketball. So those three things really headline Kentucky, and it's definitely an area that has a lot of tourism coming this way. But with the friendly people and that Southern charm, it's just a great place to live.
Definitely rich in tradition over there. Regardless if we are buying or selling, real estate is probably the largest and most important transaction most of us will make in our lifetime. Why is it important for folks out there to have a professional agent in their corner like yourself?
There's so many reasons. Me specifically, also being a contractor and a builder, I feel like I bring a little bit different tool with me. So, really helping people understand, what they can get out of a property. And for me, it's always what's the highest and best use that you can get out of that property, no matter what it is, whether it's business or residential. So really just making sure that you understand that everybody's situation is different, and being able to adapt and help whoever with whatever.
There's definitely not a one size fits all. I tell people all the time, real estate is not a do-it-yourself industry. You don't want to save a few pennies and lose thousands of dollars on the back end. By starting out back in college, nearly 2 decades ago, you have probably seen much change in the industry, even with your family being involved. How does your experience benefit your clients, would you say?
Yeah, so right when I got started in 2007, it was very different. Technology hadn't come into play like it is today. Zillow really hadn't made the scene yet. Real estate wasn't at your fingertips. My first showings, I would have to go actually get a physical key from the office, from whichever listing office, and then bring it back after the showing. There weren't Bluetooth lock boxes, and so we live in a society of instant gratification now, and that's probably the biggest change.
To me, it seems like we're so far beyond those days of just putting a sign up on the front yard to get eyes on that property. You guys can push a few buttons and it's out there big time. Especially through RE/MAX. RE/MAX is known as the world's largest real estate network. They're recognized for their extensive global presence, high transaction volumes. Is it important for consumers out there to do their due diligence when choosing an agency to work with, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. We have an incredible network. I've attended the international conference for many years now, and just being able to refer business back and forth with people that you actually know and trust. So just making sure that people really have the expertise and the right connections that they need to maximize their goals.
The industry has evolved through the years, but really so has your expertise. How has construction and development become an area where you now are able to consult others on as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Personally, it helped me get going as a younger agent because for a while there, I was my best client, buying lots, building houses, eventually transitioning that into renovations. So I was able to keep myself busy at times when, I may not have been through just normal networking and the relationships I built at that time. But the construction and the contracting areas of my business have allowed me to go in further in-depth conversations with the clients to help them with their, specific needs.
I imagine you bring things to the table that a lot of agents really can't, especially with contracting like that. Is renovation an area that you would say you specialize in? And what type of projects have you done maybe in the past? Share with us a little bit there.
Yes, absolutely. Renovation is really something that I love the most, being able to take something that's been neglected and bring it back to life. The oldest project I've worked on is a house that was built in 1789. So it was actually built when Kentucky was Virginia. But I've done things that were Queen Anne Victorian style homes that were 1890s all the way through the 1950s until today. So you really learn a lot about the different methods of construction, how to take things apart and put them back together.
Excellent. I mean, growth and development in your community of Lexington has become your passion. What is on the horizon out there as you continue to serve Lexington, maybe even beyond real estate?
That's right. So I like to say that I like to bring back things from the past. So one of the things I'm going to be working on next is a resurrection of a bourbon distillery just south of Lexington. So that distillery was founded in 1868, and you have to follow me for further details so I can release the information regarding that bourbon venture. But it really helps me get further tied into the community, and it's a big part of just being a Kentuckian.
That's exciting. The art of making this fine bourbon actually began back there, right on the site of this old burnt tavern back in the 1700s. So, there's some serious history there that has been rescued from the ashes. Has this kind of become your personal passion? And what has been some of the feedback of folks you're sharing that with, as well as investors, I would assume?
Sure. Yeah, really just bourbon kind of came into my life a little bit later. I started more just as a general consumer, and then had the chance to get invested with another local company, and then that sprouted into a further interest in the industry. But this particular property and area and the whole backstory is the meshing and combination, the blending, I guess you could say, for bourbon of two stories. One that started in the 1780s, and then one that followed about 80 years later in the 1860s. So it definitely is a rise from the ashes story, and with our specific product, kind of have our own proprietary aspects with it, and so we're looking for a whisper of smoke to go with the liquid marrying to the history.
That is exciting. I can't wait to be sharing that story in the future. We're talking about history that goes all the way back to Daniel Boone, right there in your state of Kentucky, which is very exciting. Kentucky has been listed in the top 10 great places for new home buyers. Is it still rewarding work for you to help clients realize the American dream of home ownership?
Absolutely. There are so many different people out there, so many different needs. I've never done a deal that was the exact same as the other one. So it's always fresh. It's always interesting. And, really just every day is a potential for a new chapter.
Very exciting. Great story. Thanks for sharing with us today. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is his website. On the website, you can see his contact information. The RE/MAX site has many resources, whether you're selling or buying. You can search right on the site for your next dream home right in Kentucky. Once again, that is RE/MAX Realtor, Bennett Clark. helping you maximize your home ownership, building, or renovation goals. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.